It's your favorite time again. You and me. Doom scrolling Twitteroonies. Smells like a poopy December, doesn't it? Major loser Powell is going to be cutting rates soon. Then major winner Kevin Hassett has been saying along the way, I covered for you recently, friends, he's been saying they need to cut more cautiously. And he's going to be replacing him in May, hopefully. Let's see. Here we go. May X. The Game of Thrones universe will now be owned and produced by Netflix. Here's my friend, the Greek god. It was woke before and will be woke after. If you're worried about the state of this show, you're already infected by mental illness. The worms are already in your brain. Elon Musk, mind virus. Very true. The woke mind virus out here. Twitter, friends, is the last place we can talk about stuff, but it's compromised now. You can't do any anti-Israel stuff a lot on Twitter. You just, they got it controlled. It's total. It is controlled. But I guess it's okay. Like let's think about the grand scheme of things. Okay, let's put it into perspective. All right, we can talk about 99.9% of stuff. You just can't talk about that one thing. Maybe you have to go to other places. So we do have it okay, right? We just make other platforms if you really want to speak about stuff like that. Here we have Sir Nathaniel the Dog, Become Like Water. Thank you to Mr. Hex Jam Hex, made an amazing video of me from Bruce Lee.
Bite! Are we not animals?
This is Bruce Lee out here, not Fong Lee.
When is it?
Become like water, my friends. Become like the orange juice in the jug. This is Mr. Royce and Hart. Thank you very much, sir. I do appreciate it. The community's still here, friends. Just obviously big major news. PulseChain community members are giving the Gravestone Emoji to PulseChain right now, declaring it dead. That's one of my favorite bot star Tom. I don't want to say the word. Signals. Either they give you the Gravestone Emoji or the coffin emoji as well. And just a friendly reminder as well, seeing Mr. Greek God. Remember, friends, a coin actually dies when no one talks about it anymore. The network effect's gone. Okay? If everyone just keeps saying, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, they actually keep it alive. Okay? Look at the Bitcoin obituaries. Yep. Here we have friendship coming along the way. Who the hell flipped the switch from red to green? We're not done rinsing paper hand cheats yet. And we have Dickwitbot coming out here. Oh, this is awesome. All these cute pictures and stuff out here. Wow, you've got the Jamaican hat like me. I've got the Jamaican hat. It's really cool. Secret core coin. And of course, even more, this is hilarious. I just die at these. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air, and then, then we have a fart. Oh, man. You guys make me laugh as well. We also have, here we go. Friends, the pDAI pulse ratio, trash. That's why Sir Nathaniel the Dog calling it trash. Just to let you know, this golden bin, Richard Hart replied to a message about garbage, and he put a bin, trash. And then that's why I made a post showing you that he literally called pDAI literal trash out here. So that's why it's a fun play on words. Thank you to Mr. Sir Nathaniel the Dog for making this as well. This is awesome. Well done. Really, really cool. The Twitter timelines, friends, I'm looking at it now. Man, it's so annoying that they've screwed it all up. Because I've just looked at it. It's like 38 PulseChain people up. Because I'm replying to people from the community. So Twitter thinks, oh, you only want to hear about that one thing. No, man. No, it's just that they're the only people here. It's great. Johnny Chaos. Being liked or hated is a ratio. If 100 people like you, someone hates you just because people like you. 100% true. 100% true, friends. I mean, like, you can't like learn about the world when you just find out there's just like people who just like say don't like Jesus. Like, you know, like a guy you've never met from a book, you know what I mean? Like, you just, when you start hearing stuff like that, you're like, why? Just, some people just contrarian like that, but people just like stuff just because they're just counter to the crowd. It's a useful tool to harness for markets because you're looking for expensive and cheap stuff, right? Star Platinum. 9 months have passed and this still has no explanation. Hu Lehzi remains one of the strangest events ever recorded on Ethereum. A Chinese programmer burned 600 ETH, which is 1.7 million, sends it to an address. Then a Chinese hedge fund called Kuwande Investment does a message accusing two executives, Feng Jing and Zhu Huzi, of using brain machine weapons on employees. Now, this is not, I know this could be made up. However, it could be real because like America and China are in AI race wars. Yeah, and you can't mass test stuff. So they just have insiders that are like, hey, just do this thing out and just give me the results. You're not allowed to look at anything, right? That could be it as well. But also, first reply, mental illness is actually massive in crypto. So this tracks. It's just foreign massive illness. Yes, that's also very true. Check this out from my friend who talks about crypto. Carlin talks crypto. If Bitcoin sweeps the lows, my guess is the next move up after that will be the bigger relief rally I've been expecting. It'll rebound with greater strength and convince more people that all-time highs are around the corner. It should take us 100K to 115K, and that could last 1 or 2 months. But first, Bitcoin has to finish forming a bottom. I'll show you what he actually means here. What he's actually talking about, friends. This is the Bitcoin weekly chart. What he thinks is, he thinks if Bitcoin sweeps these lows to 80, he goes, he'll think that everyone's going to believe all-time highs are coming when the dead cat bounce release comes, and he thinks it's all over. All right, that's what they're actually he's just describing. He goes, hey, if we sweep these lows and come back up, it's literally all over. It's funny though, with Trump tariff tantrum, we did sweep the low and then went up, and we actually did make a high. So we'll see. We'll see. Check it out as well. We have Master Friend, GM Retardios, with a nice tinfoil hat out here. Well done, sirs. I'm here sharing the love, liking all your posts and pictures. Here we have LibertySwap Finance. The beauty of market sentiment shows itself in moments like this. Look at HEX as an example. When it first launched, everyone called it a scam with its 38% APR hype, like another BitConnect waiting to explode. Then the DeFi summer arrived and people launched thousands of Ponzi-style farms with APR. So I just want to show you, just to tell you something, friends, like, you know, off the cuff, just because you're my friend, like, this message from LibertySwap, that has to be very high odds Richard Hart is somewhere in the room or in the channel, or he's somewhere involved, because that is speaking like from the perspective of someone who's been around a long time and who saw it there. And just to let you know, only Richard would talk. Not even I bring up the point, oh yeah, they kept calling HEX a Ponzi because of the 38% APR. Why don't I say that? Because I remember with you, it's down 99%. You know what I mean? But with him, he launched it. He was there for the success part. Okay, so let me show you. I've got the HEX chart right here. And it's kind of funny, friends. I've shown you this chart. Friends, every altcoin has the US Fed balance sheet chart. This is the US Fed balance sheet. Everything is just followed it, you know? So what I'll do is I'll just hide it just to keep it family friendly. We should actually leave it, actually. We should leave it as a reminder, pretty much. But yes, what I'll do is I'll show you HEX at the start. Well, actually, let's clean it up for racism purposes. So HEX at the start, friends, dropped 98%, advertising high yield, but then it did a massive 100x rally, and then again another 100x. Okay, yeah, I know that's what happened at the start, right? But I guess Richard was there for every moment, right? He saw it. Hey, you all kept calling it a scam because of the high APY, right? You got to remember as well, Richard was debating people. Specifically, they kept talking about the high APY, and it kept going up, right? So that's why when I read this tint of language, the first thing LibertySwap says is, hey, look at HEX. I called it a scam, 38% APY, you know? But yeah, like, let's just be honest. I know what the crowd's thinking as well. They go, like, if you just get this, I know what everyone's thinking. Let's do it. Let's actually do, how much is HEX down? It is down 99.32%. So that's why, you know, you can kind of deduce a couple of interesting things from this. But yeah, man, it doesn't feel good at all. Doesn't feel good. I'm not telling you, I don't feel good. No one feels good at all. It's 37 months bad stuff going down. Look, man, there was a fatal assumption, friends. Just like how Michael Saylor assumes Bitcoin's going to keep having a bid and going up. The fatal assumption, it was that in the past, the PMI, Main Street would have a recession for like 12 to 15 months to 18 months. That was the assumption. We are now on month 37. Okay. If you plan for a worst case of like 15 months And now we're a month 37. And that's a long time. You know, every day in crypto is 3.5 days in the real world. Yeah, because like it's insane, right? So like it's been going on a long time. It really is a depression. It really has been that long. You know, LibertySwap was replying to Suave. You're right. How are we going to convince the rest of the world that PulseChain is not a scam? Mr. Suave, too. I know this is going to sound brain dead. This is literally just how it works, okay? When people have money in their savings account, something in crypto goes up. Something. It's what I call like the lightning rod moment or a unicorn run. Peppy, Doge, whatever it is. Something goes up. Don't bother trying to guess it. You'll never guess it. Safe moon, whatever. Something goes up. People got money. They join it. They start looking at crypto. That's the spark, okay? Once people looking at crypto, every time you have a big green candle and there are buyers lurking, everything becomes reflexive. You hear Richard Hart use that word a lot, reflexive. It's true. It's true, you know, because people come in, they make money, then everyone starts jumping in. You know, one person makes money, then 2, then 4, then 8, 16, 30, 50, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, you know, but then eventually you start getting the millions of people all throwing it at the top. That's how it works, right? The problem is we haven't even had that one person make money. Here we have Mr. HEX. Hey, Somi, I love that curl up too. Oh, well, this is the pDAI pulse ratio.
Woody! Wow! I love that curl up!
Oh my gosh. We're gonna mog them. We're gonna mog them good. We will mog them.
Wow! Love that curl up!
That's awesome. Wow. So pDAI pulse ratio is about 100 now. It's curling up. Let's see it. And actually, friends, I'll show you the pDAI monthly chart. It's nice. It's got a bull hammer. It's about to form the bull hammer for Dikembe here. This is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, just to let you know, friends, everybody in pDAI, like we're just, everyone's accepted it because like Richard already fudded us down 99.4%. That you want to know why we don't care? Like we've already been exposed to this scenario of where things aren't said perfectly the right way. This is the pDAI USD chart. Remember, gravestone emojis were given there. Oh, yeah, let's go back, friends. Talk about gravestone emojis. The last time they gave a gravestone emoji was to pDAI. Let's check it on the weekly chart. Right? It was down here, friends. It was actually right here. Gravestone emoji day. And then we ran up 2,700%. And what I've actually done is I've made some posts as well showing the importance of that. It's interesting, man. It's like the chain giving itself an emoji. But I want to look at the, this is the curl up I was actually talking about, friends. This is pDAI pulse ratio moving up over time. And this is the close-up look of it. And remember, these are a 3-day chart. Very nice to see. Yeah, of course, it's a log chart as well. So it's still down 77% from the high. However, the peak of the ratio was 400. And yes, friends, this is absolutely colossal news. If it gets to 780, it flips it. But yeah, this is the curl up, man. It's leading again. Just to let you know, because a lot of people, I know there's a lot of things to take in. What grabbed my attention? So first one I was calling pDAI a piece of poop at the start. Okay, because it had an infinite bug, which got stopped and paused and everything out here. They called it the Somi FUD event. It was back here. What caused me to take another look? Okay, I forgot exactly how it all came together, but there are many pieces. However, I noticed that pDAI would go up first and it would lead the chain in 3 waves of 2024 and 2023. Okay, now nobody else put this together. I looked at it and I thought, because I just noticed I used to trade like correlations and spreads and stuff. So I always want to see, hey, what's leading, what moves, how's the price action go? Because it's inbuilt in my DNA to look at that as a trader, right? So that's why I noticed. I go, weird. The Ponzi unbacked literal garbage stupid coin that we weren't talking about. We won't talk about it except for 33 times in 1 month. That stupid piece of trash leads the chain? What? Yeah, that's why I started asking questions, and then it all started unraveling from that point. Alex Becker is probably watching my show right now. A simple truth. If you bought the 2023 altcoin lows and failed to sell the highs, as I did, you fumbled F tons of money. Another simple truth. You are going to get another shot, probably 3 times bigger in crypto. Don't be pissy and quit and let one fumble turn into 2. Man, just be careful when it comes to this word fumble. Okay, because this is hindsight talk. Always. Okay, that's what I want to show you. Hindsight talk. Be very careful and don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to this, because you gotta understand, friends. A lot of these crypto influencers, not Alex Becker, others, okay, they're farming people for selling a product or service a lot, right? So their skill set is not using a system that works, makes them the most amount of money, that's applicable for everyone out here. That's not their system of making money. They make money through other stuff. Discord subscriptions, trading referral links, insider ICO deals, pretty much everything else, okay? So what I want you to know is, when you talk about Fumble, okay, this is the thing, friends. This is what you don't know. It's survivorship bias, okay? The survivors, us, we say, oh, Fumble. No, it's not appropriate, dude. You don't see the people who, for example, who sold on the September FUD their Bitcoin or their crypto, right? So just use Bitcoin as an example. And they have to capitulate after the ETF here. You don't see that. That guy doesn't talk. They hang their head in shame. They disappear. They're gone. They're too depressed. Maybe they end up on CoinFection Direct from time to time, which they do. But you won't say, oh, but Sammy, that's okay. If it's going to $1 million, you just get back in. No, Habibi Albi. You now have 61% less supply. You've cucked yourself, dude. You had 1 Bitcoin. Now you have 0.39. They're messed up. It's finished. They're gone. They become one of the lost souls, the dead souls. They don't come around and tell you, hey, I listened to this KOL. They said we're still in a bear market. Friends, if you remember, even Ben Copen was constantly yelling, we're going down. Ben Copen. Yeah, see what I mean? So you don't hear from the person who sold because of him, all right? Who sold everything because of him and then has to buy back in here and he's got 61% less of his coins. You don't hear that person at all. And if that person appeared, you would say, hey, you took the decision. You made that choice, man. You can't blame everybody else. Everybody's just yelling stuff out into the air. No one knows, right? You don't see that. But that's why I'm telling you as well, be careful of the word fumble, man. Because, friends, if Bitcoin respects this channel of friendship and we believe in something and it works, friends, when we get back up here and they're buying 130K, friends, I've seen the YouTube comments and retail comments. Friends, there were people, they sold a crap. Everybody sold everything there. I know they did. I saw your comments. I'll go watch, go read through. Copen, Ivan, just go read through all the comments. Go read through them. You will find people from that time, they're saying, okay, I get it. We're in a bear market. Things are going down anyway. I've just listened to you and I've sold a big stack because they're going to go down anyway. Listen to that. You find those comments everywhere. Down here. Okay? It's people basically saying, okay, I guess you're right. Your thesis is all correct. Everything's going to keep going down. I'm out. Okay? Friends, you don't see this. It's like random. It's like Paul Osmo, if you remember from 2022. Paul Osmo, just random dudes out here. Paul Osmo, 74963 TQ. You don't see his freaking essay when he says, all right, I now have, that's 42% less Bitcoin. I've actually lost 2/3 of my portfolio because now I have to buy back in. You don't hear about that person. Because let me tell you the truth. You know when they get back in, they get back in on leverage. And what they do is, this is how tops form, friends. What they do is, they don't get back in where they lost. They go find the other savings. They find ways to borrow on their home. They go find excessive amounts of leverage of money to get in, and they finally get in, and then they start going, okay, if I was still in here, I'd have $1 million. Therefore, Bitcoin's going to go to 400K. I'm going to get back my $1 million. Maybe Bitcoin stops at 220K, and then you have a bear market. I've just shown you literally that was a summary of every single crypto. That's the emotional cycle right there. People sell. They got to buy back in higher. They can't accept that they've lost. They can't accept that I listened to this KOL. They said it's a bear market. I'm out. It's their fault. They can't accept that. They cannot accept that. All right? It's too hard for them because they're seeing everyone make money because the fear overrides everyone. Because there's FOMO. I've got to act. You only hear the story. When do you hear the story? You hear the story when you go euphoria, complacency, anger, panic, So panic, capitulation, anxiety, and then anger and depression in the next bear market. That's when you hear the story. That's why, because friends, I heard all the stories. When did I hear the stories of how people were acting? I heard about them after Celsius collapsed. Then you heard about people who were, oh yeah, I was long and short. I got liquidated here. I borrowed $50,000 off my parents, put it on leverage. I followed plan B. He said stock to flow is going to work. And now I lost all my parents' savings as well. That's when you hear the story. Okay. But I'm telling you, the story is playing out in real time. You just don't know all the outcomes yet. That's why they don't come out, right? But that's also when you hear the stories about everything's a fade out, that's actually bottom signals out in the future as well. So I'll explain for you how everything works, friends. Don't forget it loves you. I've been lighting the candle every single day. Also, if you need a plumber, give me a call. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you in the next one.